morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're going to be looking at Milotic V. And Milotic V is kind of interesting to me because when it comes to the special cards, the chase cards as it were, we haven't had a proper Milotic chase card since Milotic EX came out in EX Emerald. That wasn't terribly recent, ladies and gentlemen. EX Emerald came out on May the 9th, 2005. Now, this is going to be our May set, which means it's taken us 15 years to get another Milotic chase card. So, frankly, we've been a bit patient. We deserve this. Although Milotic has had some very good cards. But what about this one? What does it do? Well, it's been translated by the lovely Antoine Boulet after being revealed on the official website this morning. And starting off with the basics, we've got 210 HP, which is on the slightly higher end for Pokemon V. Retreat cost of 2 means we've got Air Balloon for free retreat. Weakness to lighting, not ideal. Pikachu and Zekrom remains one of the best decks in the format. Morpeko V, really good deck we all should be looking out for. Tapu Koko V is a really good card we see in these decks. And then, of course, when you're being hit for weakness, it means that Electro Power does an extra 60 damage. So, really, when it comes to lightning decks at the moment, they should all be playing Electro Power. They don't have to do much natural damage in order to get a one-hit KO on this. That's a bad thing. But you're a water Pokemon, which means you can accelerate energy using Frosmoth, which is quite nice. Means you're just not going to be worried about energy. And we got that full bucket card, which is literally just Professor's Letter, but only for water energy. Just search 2 water energy, so that's kind of nice. And you've got stuff like Crash Awake for a little bit of extra consistency, and you're hitting weakness on Reshiram and Charizard and other fire decks, and with Welder around, fire decks are among the best in the game right now. So water's a good typing to be, but what does it do? Well, according to the lovely Antoine Boulet, the first attack, 1 water, 2 colourless energy, 10 damage base, plus 50 more for each energy in the active Pokemon's retreat cost. Oh. You see, this is a good attack. It's a nice attack that adds up very, very quickly. But it is a much, much better attack given that Galar Mine Stadium that I showed you yesterday. You see, Galar Mine increases the retreat cost of both active Pokemon by 2 colourless energy. But when it comes to Milotic, that basically means you do an extra 100 damage. Yeah, this adds up extremely quickly, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely quickly. And when we compare this to other Pokemon with similar attacks, it comes out very favourably. Dreadnought, for the same cost, does 60 damage plus 30 for each energy in the retreat cost, which, I mean, you end up winning here, right? With a retreat cost of 2, you do 110, they do 120. After that, you start overtaking them pretty gosh darned quickly. They do only give up 1 prize, but they're also a stage 1, so I'll leave it up to you. If you're playing the increasing retreat cost game, there's no reason why you can't just do both, if I'm honest with you. Or, I mean, this is quite similar to the Crocodile that I mentioned in yesterday's video when I looked at Galar Mine. And the thing is, Crocodile's 50 times. This is 10 plus 50 times. But Crocodile's a stage 2, which is really awkward to get in play. Really, the big selling point of Crocodile was, well, alright, it can use triple acceleration energy. But you're a basic water Pokemon that can use Frosmoth. All of a sudden, you just don't care anymore. And Crocodile was my favourite of all of these Pokemon, and we went through this in the Galar Mine video yesterday, but quite simply, this is my new favourite. If you're looking for an attack which does more damage for each energy in your active Pokemon's retreat cost, or your opponent's active, this is the best one. This is my favourite one. Yes, it gives up 2 prizes, boo hiss, etc. I still think it's extremely good and extremely useful. And I'm frankly all in favour of it. I think this is going to be really good. It all depends on the retreat cost of your opponent's active, of course, but you've got Gala Mine, so even if they would have free retreat, you're doing 110. But then, of course, we've also got Absol. And Absol only increases the retreat cost of basic Pokemon, but take a look at the format at the moment. If we have a look at the Oceania International Championships and we look at the best decks, we're basically talking Zacian variants, basic Pokemon, Mewtwo and Mew variants, basic Pokemon, Fire decks, which largely come down to things like Reshiram and Charizard, basic Pokemon. The format at the moment is overwhelmingly focused on basic Pokemon. It's why so many people play Absol in their deck. It's why Obstagoon actually made top 8 in Oceania, because it preys on basic Pokemon. So, if you start using Galamine and you start using Absol, and don't forget, this will be a good candidate for Stadium Nav to find that Galamine a little bit earlier, all of a sudden, you're potentially giving your opponent a retreat cost of 5. That's free Absol and a Galamine if they had free retreat to begin with, and then all of a sudden, you're hitting 260. I mean, against something like Zacian V, let's say you take a Vitality Band to do an extra 10 damage, you only actually need them to have a retreat cost of 4 to get a one-hit KO. 210 plus a Vitality Band is 220. Well, they've got a retreat cost of 2 normally, so Galamine alone will do it. Pikachu and Zekrom, you need them to have a retreat cost of 5. They've got a retreat cost of 3. So again, Galamine will get a one-hit KO. Reshiram and Charizard, because they've got a weakness and a retreat cost of 3 to begin with, you're doing 320 before you've even started. Honestly, about the only things that should give you any pause for thought whatsoever here are VMAXs. VMAXs can be an issue. The problem is that VMAXs are evolved Pokemon, so you can't use Absol V. And they've just got high HP. If you look at something like Snorlax VMAX, they've got a retreat cost of 2. So you then add on a Galamine, they've got a retreat cost of 6, which means you hit them for 310. And 310 is still phenomenal, but it's not a one-hit KO. Even Vitality Band won't get you there. You need to increase their retreat cost by 1 more, and unfortunately, Snorlax and a basic Pokemon. But even then, you're still doing a huge amount of damage on a free prize Pokemon, and you'll get it next turn, though they should be one-hit KOing you. Non-VMAXs, I'm not even worried about. Because if they've got a retreat cost of 2, you're hitting them for 210 with a Galamine. And there aren't that many non-VMAXs that have got more than that. So, yeah. Even something like Wailord, they've got a high enough retreat cost that you'll just get a KO anyway. You should, with a Galamine and 1 or maybe 2 Absol at the most, be getting a one-hit KO on basically every relevant Pokemon other than VMAXs. That has got to be worth some consideration. Now, there is a second attack here. It's not as good. 1 water, 3 colorless energy, 150 damage plus sleep. And essentially, this is your emergency, look, I've got nothing else, alright, kind of attack. That's it. That's what it does. Simple as that. You don't want to use this attack, because 150 damage should be less than you're doing with the first attack, and sleep is fine, and your opponent might flip tails, and you can always use Slumbering Forest so that they've got to flip double heads in order to wake up, which is extremely unlikely, and then you can stick them there for a while asleep. It'll work, it'll be fine. But it's not the kind of thing over which you should be getting terribly excited. It's not the kind of thing that's going to be used very often or to particularly good effect. It's all right, but it's not great. It's fine. There we go. I mean, really here, it's add an extra energy because the first attack isn't going to work. But the first attack is great, and that's what keeps me excited here. The first attack is a really good attack, and the maths just works out. If we didn't have Galamine and Absol, it probably wouldn't be good enough. If we didn't have Frosmoth, there would be an argument that it was just too slow and the energy was too awkward. But we do have Galamine, we do have Absol, we do have Frosmoth, and all of them are going to survive the next rotation. So for at least a year, we've got everything we need. Count me in, ladies and gentlemen. Count me in. Let's give it between 4 and 5 Wassies, and I know that seems high, and I seem to be being very high on these new Pokemon today, but this really strikes me as, put it this way, right? If we're playing a Frosmoth deck at the moment, the best part that we found is Lapras V/VMAX, and I think this is a fair bit better. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where you can find out about a whole bunch of games that don't have Pokemon in, but are very awesome nonetheless. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.